Greetings, math fans. All right, so we've spent 2 days on the elimination method. All right, and the first day was really easy because you didn't have to do anything. You just had to add the two equations together, and one variable automatically cancel out. Okay, and then the last lesson, you had to multiply one of the terms by a number, so it'd be opposite. So if it was 5x, the other one would have to be negative 5x, and then it would cancel. All right, so today's lesson is where you're going to have to multiply both equations by a number so they become opposites and they can cancel. Okay, not a big deal. We're going to show you how to do that in a little bit. The first couple questions here are some just review problems here. So let's just do the review problems really quickly. Okay, the first one is really easy because that's already set. I don't have to do anything. And the 3x cancels. And so you have negative 3y is equal to 12 divided by negative 3, y equals negative 4. Okay, pretty easy. And then, right, remember I told you you can plug it back into any one of them. I'm going to plug it back into this one just because I have less negatives there. I kind of like it a little bit better. So I get 3x minus 7 times negative 4 equals 13. So 3x plus 28 equals 13. Subtract 28 from both sides. So 3x equals negative 15, and then divide by 3. So x equals negative 5. Okay, so that is your answer, negative 5 comma negative 4. All right, cool. The next one, the first thing you have to do here, as we talked about, you got to make sure it's in the correct order. And this one's not in the correct order. The x's need to line up and the y's need to line up. So the first one's in good shape here. I'm just going to, and again, you don't need to add and subtract because they're already on the correct side. I'm just going to move that over, the 6y over. So I wound up getting 5x plus 6y equals negative 26, and then 5x minus 6y equals 46. And the nice thing about this is this just cancels, and 5x plus 5x is 10x. Negative 26 plus 46 is 20. And then we divide by 10, x equals 2. Okay, and then I'm going to plug it back into, I think the first one. Less negatives. Just, not really less negative, just, I don't know. I like that one. So 5 times 2 minus 6y is equal to 46. So 10 minus 6y equals 46. Subtract 10. So negative 6y equals 36. Divided by negative 6. Y equals negative 6. Okay, so that's your answer, 2 comma negative 6. Alright, pretty mellow. Okay, so number 3 is I just have to multiply one equation by something, and see, this is obviously the 4 and the 3. I don't think you want to do that because you multiply what by the top one? You multiply the top one by negative 2. That gives you negative 2x on the top and positive 2x on the bottom, which means they cancel. So let's write it out. Negative 2 times each of those terms. Negative 2x minus 8y is equal to negative 4. And 2x minus 3y equals 26. Okay, so they cancel, and we get negative 11y equals 22. Divide by negative 11. Y equals negative 2. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to plug it back into the first one because that looks a little friendlier, right into there. So it's x plus 4y, which is negative 2, equals 2. So x minus 8 equals 2, right? 4 times negative 2, negative 8. And then I add 8 to both sides. So x equals 10. Okay, so your answer is 10, negative 2. Cool. The next one, well, again, I see the 3 and the 5 there. Can't really do too much, but man, I got that 4 and the 2, so I just need to make this one positive 4, so I multiply this one by 2. Okay, because that would give me negative 4y and then positive 4y. So we got 3x minus 4y equals 12, and 10x plus 10y, or plus 4y, equals 40. So the 4y's cancel, and we get 13x is equal to 52. And if you divide it out, it is nice because I won't give you anything nasty. So x comes out to be 4. Sweet! Okay, and then we plug it into, I'm going to go with this one right here because you have no negatives. So 5 times 4 plus 2y equals 20. Okay, so 20 plus 2y equals 20. And we subtract 20. And so 2y equals 0. Now sometimes I get kids that actually say, boo, they're like, this is no solution, right? But it's not. The variables don't cancel. It's only when the variables cancel. You got to remember that. I mean, I can still solve this one. If I divide by 2, guys, please remember 0 divided by 2 is 0. It's not 2. It's not, I don't know what it is, what it's not, but it's 0. So the answer to this one is 4 comma 0. Okay? Alright, so now we get into problems where it doesn't work out so nicely. Look at number 5. You get a 3x and you get a 2x. And there's not, you can't multiply one of the equations by something because it just doesn't work. You can't multiply something by 2 to give you something like with a 3, or you can't multiply something by 4 to give a 5 unless it's a fraction. You never want to multiply by fractions because they're very scary. Okay? Alright, so what I'm going to do is, my suggestion to you is if something is positive and negative, that's what you want to eliminate. Now, if they're big numbers, maybe you want to choose the other one, okay? But if they're already positive and negative, I don't need to multiply by anything negative then, because they're already opposite, at least as far as the signs go. All right? So, I would basically, I'm looking for something opposite. In this case here, it's going to be the y's. And you're going to say, well, this is a good rule of thumb, is you can say the lowest common number that 4 and 5 go into is 20. Now that's truly 4 times 5. So if 20 is, we call it our lowest common multiple, is 20. And then you kind of say to yourselves, well, what times 4 gives you 20? 5. What times 5 gives you 20? 4. So if you notice, if 5 times 4 is 20 and negative 5 times 4 is negative 20, they're going to cancel out. And that's what you want to do. Okay? You want to multiply that out. I could have multiplied it if I wanted. I could have multiplied the same thing. See how this is a 2 and a 3 here? I could have multiplied this one by 2 to get 6, and this one by 3, but one of them has to be negative to make it opposite. If it's not negative, it won't cancel out. So I choose not to do the negative. Again, if the numbers are really small numbers and the other ones are big and it's easier to multiply by negative, you can do that. That's fine. So let's do the 5 and the 4. So we get 15x plus 20y equals 50, and 8x minus 20y equals negative 96. Okay, the 20y's cancel, and we wind up getting 23x is equal to negative 46. Again, you're using your calculators because it's okay. Divide by 23, x comes out to be negative 2. Now, which one do you plug back in? I always say plug back into one of the original ones. In fact, this one looks like it's the best one right here, that x. So it's 3 times negative 2 plus 4y equals 10. So negative 6 plus 4y equals 10. Add 6, and you get 4y equals 16. Divide by 4. Y equals 4. Okay, there we go. So the answer is negative 2 comma 4. Okay, so kind of the same thing here. Number 6, if you notice there, the x's are opposite and the y's are opposite, so I can pick which one I want. All right, I like the smaller numbers. I think I like the 5 and the 3 a little bit better, so I'm going to do that. That means I'm going to multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 5. Because that's going to give me 15x, the other one's going to be negative 15, or y, 15y, and the other one's going to be negative 15y. Alright, so I distribute that, I get negative 9x plus 15y equals 39, and 35x minus 15y equals 65. Okay, so we say 35x minus 9x is 26x equals 39, and 65 is 104. Sweet. and we divide both sides by 26, and that gives us a nice clean number of 4. Okay, I'm going to plug it back into, I don't know, that top one is okay because it's smaller numbers. So it's negative 3 times 4 plus 5y is equal to 13. So negative 12 plus 5y equals 13 plus 12. So we'll go up here, 5y is equal to 25, and divide by 5. So y is equal to 5. So our answer for this one is 4 comma 5. Okay? Alright, so just we have a bunch more to do in the back here, and let's say, the more examples you see, hopefully the more you're going to understand it. Now some of these are going to turn out to be they're all going to be really nice numbers, okay? I just want to tell you that. But some of them you have to kind of move over, you have to rewrite, and it all depends. But you need to eliminate one of the variables. Okay, so for example, the first number 7 here this is not in the right order. So don't get confused by that. So I'm going to rewrite the top one as 4x plus 5y equals 7, and the bottom one is written as 5x plus 9y equals 17. Now it's in order. Which one do you want to get rid of? I would personally get rid of the x. It's smaller, but now I have no opposites, right? So what I need to do here, math fans, is multiply this one by negative 5 and this one by positive 4. I could put the negative on the bottom if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. Okay? So you get negative 20x minus 25y equals negative 35, and 20x plus 36y equals 68. Okay, and then that cancels, and 36y minus 25 is 11y, and 68 minus 35 is 33. Divide by 11, y is 3. I'm going to plug it back into the top equation, so 4x plus 5 times 3 equals 7, so 4x plus 15 equals 7. Subtract 15, and so 4x equals negative 8. Divide by 4, x equals negative 2. So my answer for this one is negative 2 comma 3. Okay. Next one. Again, this one is not in the correct order. So I'm in this case here. Let me show a little bit of work. I can't just move it over because I have to add and subtract it. It's not on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 6y from both sides. So you get negative 2x minus 6y equals 18. And then the other one is negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 29. Okay, so what do you want to eliminate? I would probably choose the x just because they're smaller. Okay, I understand. See, this is where the y is already opposite, but the x, it's a smaller number, so it's less to multiply by. So I'm going to multiply this one by negative 3 and this by positive 2. And that would give me then on the top positive 6x plus 18y equals negative 54. And then you get negative 6x plus 10y is equal to negative 58. So we get 28y equals negative 112. Divide by 28, and it actually works out nicely for you if you use your calculator. Y comes out to be negative 4. Okay, I'm going to plug it into, actually if I plug it into that top equation, the x is already solved. So negative 2x equals 6 times negative 4 plus 18. So negative 2x equals negative 24 plus 18. Negative 2x equals negative 24 plus 18 is negative 6. Divided by negative 2, x is 3. There we go. So the answer is 3 comma negative 4. Okay, keep on going here. That's in nice order. The numbers are relatively close, so I'm going to get rid of the y. Tell me why. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is going to be 3 and this is going to be 4. So 15x minus 12y equals 42, and 12x plus 12y equals 12. Y's cancel, so 27x is equal to 54. Divided by 27, x equals 2. Okay, and then I'm going to plug it into, I'm going to go to the bottom one here, that guy there. So 3 times 2 plus 3y equals 3. So 6 plus 3y equals 3. Subtract 6. 3y equals negative 3. Divide by 3. Y equals negative 1. Alright, there we go. 2, negative 1. Alright. Smoke it along. So number 10, I'm going to get rid of the y. I can see it right away because the x's are pretty much the same as the y as far as the size of the number, but the y is already opposite, so I don't have to multiply it by anything negative. So that's pretty sweet. So I'm going to multiply this one by 6 and this by 5. Sweet. So 36x plus 30y equals negative 6, and 25x minus 30y equals negative 55. Okay, so the y's cancel, and I wind up getting 61x equals negative 61. That's nice. So divide by 61, x equals negative 1. Okay, and then let's see, I'll plug that into the first one. So 6 times x, so 6 times negative 1 plus 5y equals negative 1. So negative 6 plus 5y equals negative 1. Add 6. So 5y is equal to 5. Divide by 5. Y equals 1. Okay, so your answer for this one is negative 1 comma 1. Alright, hopefully you guys are getting the hang of this. It's not too bad. This one, you know, some numbers are bigger, some are smaller. I'm going to get rid of the x. Why not? It's the first one. So multiply this by 7 and this by 5. So you get 35x minus 63y equals 35, and negative 35x plus 10y equals negative 35. So the x's cancel, and you wind up getting negative 53y equals 0. Now again, don't say no solution. This is not no solution. Okay, it's an answer. The variables didn't cancel. If this was a 0y here and it canceled, then it would be no solution or infinite solutions. But this one, you got to divide by negative 53. And again, be careful. This is y equals 0. Okay, and then you take this, and I'm going to plug it back into the first equation. So I get 5x minus 9 times 0 equals 5. So 5x, that cancels out, 5x equals 5. Divide by 5, x equals 1. So there you go, 1 comma 0. Okay, not bad. And the last one, it's pretty obvious when I'm going to get rid of the y because it's already opposite. So I'm going to multiply this by 4 and this by 3. Okay, so I wind up getting 8x minus 12y equals negative 28, and 15x plus 12y is equal to 51. So the y's cancel, and we have 23x equals 23. Divide by 23. X comes out to be 1. Sweet. Okay, and then again, I'm going to plug it into the second one. It's a lot less negatives. So 5 times 1 plus 4y equals 17. So 5 plus 4y equals 17 minus 5. So 4y equals 12. Divide by 4. Y equals 3. So there we got it, guys. 1, comma 3. All right, so it took a little while to do all this, just because there were a lot of problems, but they're really not that bad. And hopefully, if you did all these and you work with me in these problems, it's just be good practice, and you guys should be good to go with doing the homework and understanding the elimination method, because we spent really 3 days in the elimination method. So you guys should be good to go. All right, that's it, math fans. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.